first half and all, like, I mean, we huffed and we puffed. We didn't do a great deal, and like I was disappointed actually how we played in the first half, given how well we were last week against Ballymena. We came in and we changed things ever so slightly, so we did. We do things a wee bit more urgency, do things a little bit faster. They certainly get the wide players involved in the game a lot more, because they played like a narrow diamond, so they did, and they were getting too much second ball knocked down and getting on the ball too much. Whenever we went and we played with a wee bit of width and a wee bit more urgency in that there, I think we turned the game in our favour, and was delighted to get the result.
What win now puts us up in the 7th place, 2 points ahead of Dungannon as of now. The aim must be is to finish, obviously the highest we can finish is 7th, but that gets us the European playoff, all being well.
Well, that's it, like, I mean, with that comes the European, the chance of staying involved with the European mix, and that, like, it's, you got to give yourself a chance by getting into that one. It's 7th is the highest we can finish now, then that's where we've got to try and finish. Couple wins in the bounce, and that, like, I mean, gives the place a bit of a lift. We had no Marcus Keane tonight, we had no Stevie Gordon tonight, we had no Callum Burney tonight, we had no Aaron Harmon tonight, so we're missing four senior players, as well, so they come back into the mix. We get a week's rest, which isn't really what you want when you're winning games. You would like to see the games coming thick and fast, but at the end of the day, we have a couple of weeks ago out there, you couldn't see the next game far enough away. So that's how quickly football can change, and a couple of results can soon lift the morale and the field around the club. And
obviously, you said it there, it lifts the morale, and the players, are 2 wins back to back. They're obviously going to get a lot of confidence from that.
Absolutely, you can't take any game for granted in the Premier League. Everybody's more than capable of beating anybody else. I'm disappointed we probably didn't put a bit more gloss on the game tonight. Curtis obviously missed the penalty, and Conal Delaney fired a ball across there. We should have really scored from it. 2 strikers sitting there. Like, I have to see that one again, how we managed to miss that. But all in all, they've got to be happy. We haven't won anywhere near enough at home. Our home form's been dreadful. So it has. I think it's only our 4th win of the season out there, and that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. People from the east wants to come and support their team and come to the Oval, and we want them to come to the Oval, and we want them to be proud of the team that's playing out there for them. We haven't done it anywhere near enough, and we're big enough to handle that. Like, to throw our hands up and say it's not been good enough. But these last 5 games now there, we've really got to dig in. We've really got to kind of keep kicking on and show something similar to what we've shown in the last couple of matches.
And last week I seen you bring Conal Delaney up to make his first start from the under-20s. Obviously Tiernan, an under-20s player at the start of the season, plays more or less week in, week out for us now. Is a part of the first team squad. How have you been impressed with Conal?
Conal's done really well, so he has. I go and watch all the 20s games. I go and watch them. Like, I think people were crying out to give young people a chance out there, but they had to be ready, and there had to be the right time for them. The right time for Conal was last week, because the wee position opened up for him there, so it did, and I've got every faith in the kid. I think he's exciting. He gets people on the edge of their seat, especially that second half performance. His first half performance wasn't great. And I told him that there in here at half time, and I spoke to him and I said to him, you need more from you, son. You need to kind of produce, because ultimately when you cross that white line, it doesn't matter how old you are, it's about what you produce and what you do. But the second half, he really took the game to them. He put them on the back foot. He's a janky wee winger, like I said, it gets people excited, and he is exciting. He's a talented wee boy, so he is like a young man, let's just say, young wee boy. He's a talented young man, so he is with a bright future, but he needs to keep working hard. He needs to knuckle down and train hard, and that. This can't be his career. This is only the beginning for him, and it's up to him how much he dedicates himself to it, not there to see how far he wants to go. But we're bypassing Tiernan Macaulay. Tiernan trains like he plays. The kid doesn't know any other way. I personally, I think Tiernan Macaulay's a fantastic young talent. Like, so it is. He's a throwback to an old school mentality. Like, he doesn't bitch and moan or gripe. So he does. This kid works and works and works and works, and he works on more, and he never moans about it. Like, and he's a kid not that I think the world of. He's here more than anybody else here, watching under 20s on Wednesday night. So he was such as is want to be here and being around the club, and if we can build that there into the players, not that they should want to be here more, and they should want to do more for this club. Then we'll be okay.
You touched on it there. People were crying for the under-20s ones to be given a chance, but it's not a case of bringing the full squad of under-20s player up. There has to be the right balance. There has to be that experience along with the youth. Now, our right side tonight was Tiernan Macaulay and Conal Delaney. So once the opportunity arises for them, you're happy enough to bring them in. You've all the faith in them.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I got to see something in them. You know, they train with us week in, week out, so they have to be better than what they're playing against. You know, first and foremost. You know, or at least show that they're on a par with them and not there. Like, to merit being in the team. You don't get to pull on a Glentoran first team shirt if you're not good enough. Like, I mean, and a lot of criticism will be aimed at a lot of the players, and they haven't been good enough. The ones that have been wearing the shirt this year. That'll boil down to opinions. Like, I mean, ultimately, because I'm in this position, I have to make these calls, and that, like, and Conor Delaney is showing, like, in the last couple of performances, that he belongs in a Glentoran shirt. You know, Tiernan McCauley, you know, again the same. That they're very solid, very dependable. Jamesy Ferrance dropped in at centre half, and that there, since he moved to centre half, he's been excellent. I don't think he's missed a header in the last 2 or 3 games. You know, I've been pleased with how he's performed, like, so he has. But then Big Jay McGee's had to slide across the left, and he's been excellent too. So, you know, things I guess here bode well. So they do. You know, they give you heart and they give you a bit of confidence. And in a season that there's been not too much to sing or dance about, like, you mean, then there've been a couple of wee bright sparks in that there in terms of the younger players. And some senior players that have stepped up more than others, I suppose. Like, but yeah, as long as we stick together as a group and we finish the season as strong as we can, and that's all we can ask.
And last week also again seen Johnny Addis move into centre midfield. Now obviously Johnny this year is studying across, you know, the water, so he hasn't been able to train with the boys, but he's still put in 30 plus appearances. You must be delighted obviously to get Johnny back in next season, training with the boys full time. That'll
make a big difference for him too, because as much as he keeps himself taking over and going to the gym and stuff, you don't play football in a gym. You know what I mean? He tries to keep his foot in that, like, I mean, with wee teams and stuff. But like you say, he's studying hard. He's a studious cutter boy, like, you know what I mean. But some of his play there tonight again, like, he gets on the ball and he can make his tick. I've always wanted to play Johnny a wee bit higher up. That's the truth, like, so it is. I've always wanted to move him into that position. I think that's the way he plays his best football. So he does. You know, Johnny's a victim of his own versatility at times, not there, but he's an outstanding technician. I sound like Brendan Rodgers there, like, but he is. You know what I mean? He can fizz the ball out wide. Not like, I mean, he can hit things first time. He's got an eye for a pass. He's athletic, like, so he can get about, like, so he can round the park, and he's got really good composure, guys, water in his veins, like, so he has, you know. So the lad's got everything that I like about him. Like, I've known Johnny whenever he was an 18-year-old or 19-year-old at Carrick, and I played alongside him, like, you know what I mean, and now I'm managing him, and I'd rather have him with him than against me.